parties look at the issues involved and find a landing that they both can live with.
Okay.
Now, you notice I'm not using the word happy with, but it is a situation they can live with.
Right.
So we don't even look at it in terms of winners or losers. We look at it as problem solved or problem remaining or problem partially solved.
Okay. I've always thought that law or legal has been more of a combative, confrontational, very tough arena. But you took the path of mediation,
Right.
peace, resolution. What was your thought process when you decided to do this?
Right. So, firstly, in mediation, it is combative and it is tough, but there is another layer of authenticity to it as well. Because if you look at any relationship, whether it's family or business, it all has to do with being able to communicate needs and have needs met.
Yep.
And when those needs are not met, you have unhappiness, disagreement, and then when it escalates into a dispute.
Yep.
It is at the point of dispute that people need to decide how I'm going to resolve it. Litigation is just one of the ways. And there is always dialogue, there's always debate, and mediation actually has put that into a structure.
Right.
So you're right that the law is about debate, but it does not always have to be overtly hostile. It does not always have to have games and gimmicks. Ultimately, it is what the parties want to achieve at the end of the day. So coming back to why mediation? Mediation brings a dispute to an end, or at least aims to bring a dispute to an end early so that parties can move on with their lives. Okay?
So, in litigation, in a court battle, like you said in our previous episode, there is a winner and there's a loser.
Yes.
So, are those two things not present in a mediation?
No, ideally in a mediation, because firstly, parties go into a mediation voluntarily. Secondly, parties look at the issues involved and find a landing that they both can live with.
Okay.
Now, you notice I'm not using the word happy with, but it is a situation they can live with.
Right.
So we don't even look at it in terms of winners or losers. We look at it as problem solved or problem remaining or problem partially solved.
Okay.
Right? Now, it is really entirely up to the parties at the end of the day what they're prepared to explore and expand, because there's a lot of creativity involved, to achieve the next step of that dispute.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
So one little metaphor that we say is that at the point of a mediation, you're looking at the past. What happened to bring about the dispute? In the context of the present, but with an eye on the future.
Yeah.
Right?
Brilliant.
You look at medical legal matters, they take 10 years to resolve, 14 years to resolve. Some take 3 years to resolve.
Yep.
But it's still 3 torturous years for all parties involved. And so the question is, if you can resolve a matter a lot faster, why not explore that?
So, have you ever had to do a mediation case, where the parties were not satisfied or happy with the, would you call it an outcome?
Yeah, so obviously there are going to be mediations where the parties are not happy with what's presented on the table. They ascribe the offers as the other side not being sincere. They ascribe the offers as being an insult. And certainly those sort of circumstances do take place.
Yeah.
Having said that, mediations don't always have to be a one-day event. There are many times where issues are a bit more complex or facts are not so certain, and parties need some time to look at things, get an expert view, for example, especially in the context of medical legal or dental legal.
Yeah.
You need to get an expert to weigh in or at least give a view about it. And we have found, at least in my practice, where experts have weighed in to say, well, this is not absolutely clear whether it's negligence, so it's sitting on the midpoint. And that is enough for us to then consider whether one should go the extra step to risk a litigation. And that can apply from the patient side as well as the doctor's side.
Okay. So I know this next question is not very straightforward. It's very case dependent and a few other things. But how long? So just now you said that medical negligent cases sometimes can run up to 10 years
Oh, yes,
in a
even
court
more.
battle, right?
Yes.
So what's the longest you've seen a mediation case run? Its tenure.
All right. So mediation. All right. So I need to give you a little bit about history about mediation
Sure.
in Malaysia.
Sure.
Okay. Now, when mediation first started, everyone thought about it for family cases and human resource cases, IR cases, industrial relation cases. Then the construction industry, and we have to always look at the construction industry. They are one of the most effective industry sectors where they know that a long protracted battle, while benefiting maybe the lawyers and the experts, doesn't benefit the construction project. So they're always looking for faster ways of unlocking cash and faster ways of resolving matters.
Okay.
So 25 years ago, one sector that was looking at resolving matters through mediation was the construction sector.
Okay.
However, the rest of the professionals didn't quite get into the scene, and so it sort of languished for many years.
Okay.
Fast forward to about 15 years ago, when the rhythm and the drumbeat for mediation started increasing. Again, it was seen as a nice, a job that people wanted to do when they retired, or, they do it sometimes as a favor. It wasn't done in a structured way until some people were participating in either court annex mediations and they could see that if they could resolve a matter without the long protracted litigation, it would be good for them as well.
Okay.
So in those days, it would be around 2012, 2011, 2012, around that time, where more people were starting to see that a effective way of solving problems lets people get back to business, right? And that tagline, by the way, is in my email tagline of my firm right now.
Oh, okay.
Right? Invest in your business, not in disputes, mediate.
Nice.
Or invest
Nice,
in life. Invest in life, not disputes, mediate.
There are some food debris when we eat that sticks around our teeth, and just brushing our teeth, flossing or rinsing alone sometimes doesn't get rid of that. So Aquapick has come up with this device. It's called an cordless oral irrigator. Now what it does is that it protects your teeth and gums when there are food particles that is stuck around it. It's got a very strong, powerful stream of water that will be released, and that stream of water will swirl around your mouth and remove food debris or particles that is stuck between your teeth and gums. And it not just removes food particles, it also massages your gums gently. Aquapick has more than just their oral cordless irrigator. If you go and check their website, you will see so many things that they're offering. As a matter of fact, if you go on to SHOPEE today and you look up for Aquapick's official store, for everyone listening on to Unfiltered Business, you get a 15 ringgit off all their items. All you have to do is when you make your purchase at SHOPEE, you just have to key in the voucher code of UFLTD15 and you will get your discount. But don't worry, the details will be at the comments below. What would you advise young lawyers who are probably pressured to take the route of litigation, but deep inside they may want to consider mediation? Now,
Right.
like I said, that when I was starting out, was going to speak to people and they said, don't waste your time in mediation, there's got not much traction and all of that. And you said that it was impossible to send children to university or school on a mediation salary. But what is the landscape today?
Right.
And what would you tell lawyers that are coming out, want to do mediation, but most likely are pressured or probably only know that litigation and conveyancing is probably the only way?
So at first, I need to recast and make sure my frame is correct. I wear multiple hats and I wear them seamlessly.
Okay.
I am a litigator, I'm an arbitrator, I also go in as arbitration counsel, mediation counsel, as well as mediation.
Yeah.
And I forgot a few other hats. I'm
Hats.
also an adjudicator as well. Now, this is part of the toolbox
Okay.
that I bring to my legal practice. So that's the
Okay.
big rainbow over which I practice.
Right.
So when I look at a matter, so I know I'm being described as a mediator today, but I am that and a lot more.
Okay.
So I have to be, as a lawyer, comfortable with the idea of going to litigation if that's what the client needs me to do. So we have matters where I'm a mediation preferred practice. I'm proudly so, mediation first. We will look at seeing whether we can resolve your matter early. But if we can't, we will go to court.
Okay.
But
Right.
at every point of the journey, we will see whether we can resolve this matter, re-steer it back to sensible conversations, and solve it early.
A lot of people think that because it is still growing,
It's actually-
mediation
it's-
can be done something without much cost compared to.
So then you deserve to go to court.
Yes, correct.
It's, there was one matter, medical negligence matter, where they came and saw me and I gave them my fee for doing a mediation.
Yeah.
I gave them what I felt they would get in court as well.
Yeah.
And in the mind of one of the family members, they thought it was not a robust enough approach. So they went to, a litigator who, pulled out all the swords and raised the voice to demonstrate how powerful litigation could be, only for them to resolve 1 week before trial. And then when the mathematics was done, because obviously they paid that lawyer double of what I was being paid, I had quoted, what they had left in their hands was exactly what would have been had they considered my approach 3 years earlier.
Right.
Now, someone called me to tell me that this had happened, and Riley said, "Oh, I wish they listened to you." And I said, this doesn't mean anything to me at this point.
Yeah.
The other lawyer has made the fees. They've made their fees, and they've succeeded in taking these people through a 3-year
My goodness.
saga.
Right.
But that's what the client wanted. So, if you want me to add, it serves them right.
Right. Right.
Right? If you don't understand that there are multiple ways of doing this, it's not always the loudest and most aggressive person who can solve your problem.
Yep.
It's the difference between a boxing match and a chess game.
Yeah. If today we have a young person wants to consider mediation,
Go ahead.
does he have to wear multiple hats?
Absolutely.
As in, he cannot just rely on mediation
Yeah,
alone?
I will tell you very frankly, I will not appoint a very young person to be a mediator. I need someone with life experience.
Okay.
I need someone who knows themselves, who knows how to handle personalities and temperaments in the room.
Okay.
I will also not hire a super retiree
Okay.
because that person is doing it as a hobby. It's not a real job.
Okay. All right.
I appoint mediators who are serious about their work. Now, in August, our firm did a real happy dance. We resolved a major corporate family dispute. It was in Deca millions, Josh.
Wow.
We paid our mediator very well.
One family.
One family. It was a pre-inheritance dispute.
Right.
Now, if I wanted to be ruthless, I could have taken it through litigation. It would probably pay for one of my children's university education, as I told my client.
Yep.
But we resolved it in 11 months. That's a record for
Yeah.
my practice. Now, I cannot say that everything we can resolve in
Yeah,
11
I
months.
understand. I understand.
But you can imagine that how delighted we were, because there were many points, even in that mediation, that we thought, ayo, bungkus,
Yeah.
cannot go forward.
Yeah.
But we did. We kept prevailing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what we collectively shared was there should be a light at the end of this tunnel, hopefully a good light.
That was all for Unfiltered Business today. I hope you took back something. I hope you found this episode useful and informative. I will see you in my next episode.